Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Peaky Blinders. This episode 4 of season 4. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far. And we have to start at the end of the last episode because Polly has sat down and had a meeting with Luca Changretta, and in that meeting she discussed throwing Tommy under the bus, mate. Literally, she said that she'll cut a deal with him as long as Arthur, Ada and the rest of the family are safe. She'll hand over Tommy. Now, that is very controversial. And I said, controversially as well, she signed a death warrant, mate. To me, she needs to die. If Tommy finds out that she's trying to throw him under the bus, he needs to go after her, he needs to take her out. It's ruthless, but, you don't betray your own family. You don't hand him over to the enemy. The reason why they obviously killed Changretta, the father, in the last season was because he went after Grace. Now, yes, obviously John went after the son, and that was their retaliation. But Tommy had every right to obviously fight and strike back. So this is going to be interesting. You can see Polly as well kind of fighting against Tommy. And, well, the way the Shelby company's been run for a while now, she's been inducted back into the business. We've seen in the last episode. Michael's mum that raised him come to visit him before Polly obviously come into the room, and when she found out, she wasn't happy with it. Now, I don't have any problem with it, to be honest. It seemed like Michael was quite glad to see her. It was a nice little change, but obviously Polly, she does everything for Michael. She tries to protect him. She wants him to move away. She's not happy with how Tommy's going. So this is going to be really interesting to see. Honestly, it's going to be exciting. Now, we obviously had an interesting story with Arthur. He wanted to take out Luca Changretta himself, but they had a family meeting. He didn't actually turn up because obviously his wife was working with Polly to distract him. She went in, she started having sex with him. It made him late for the meeting, so obviously they took a vote while he wasn't there that they'll get Abraham Gold to obviously go and take out the Changrettas for them, kind of like obviously a hitman. Arthur found out, he was fuming. He wanted to pull that trigger, but as the episode progressed and obviously his wife was speaking to him more and more, he decided obviously like maybe somebody else doing the hit and not actually putting himself in danger with all the threats that are coming is probably the best way. Now, interestingly, Tommy did get a picture of the Changrettas from back in the day when there was a marriage, and he's passed that out to obviously the Blinders, so they know now like some of the enemies that they're gonna have to look out for, because obviously we've seen them. They've managed to infiltrate them twice so far. And then obviously we'll finish it off very interestingly with Tommy. He actually slept with Lizzie. Really interesting. I didn't expect it, but I've kind of caught the vibes from them ever since she was kind of introduced, really. Not in season 1, actually, I'm lying. Season 1, she was going to try and get married with John, didn't want she? And obviously Tommy stepped in and obviously stopped that from happening. But ever since she's kind of like been introduced as part of working with the company, they've always had like good vibes. I feel like she's always like lent towards him and like, been attracted. And now Tommy, maybe he's thinking that she's a safe person to be with, somebody that he can trust, a woman that's always going to be by his side, strong, independent, do you know what I mean? And I've got no problems with it, so that's going to be interesting to see as well. So thanks for checking out today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into episode 4 of season 4 of Peaky Blinders.
Thank you for seeing me, Mr. Shelby. I know how busy you are. Well, you see, tomorrow would have been my son's 21st birthday, and I'm having a bit of a thing. I thought I would invite your brother.
They're using it well, aren't they?
Thank you to the Shelby family for helping.
He's reading it. I feel like he read it. I feel like Tommy's been in these situations before, enough of these situations where he can kind of read that something's going on. If he didn't, then that's interesting.
At midday today, Arthur will be here, 47 Artillery Square. Like a goat, tied up for the fucking tiger, eh, Arthur?
He knew it. He knew it. He knew it.
Johnny and Isaiah will set up here as hawkers selling stolen pork. When you get the signal from me, they'll can open fire.
From you, eh?
Yep, I'll be here in the window overlooking.
Right. I'm glad that he read it. My thinking is that John's died and Finn is getting lifted. I feel like they're going to use him a lot going forward. See, that guy's proper committed to him as well, isn't he? He's a proper loyal on him. She said she was having a do and no one's actually there. I know it's a setup line, but you'd think somebody would be there.
Don't allow firearms in the house.
It's a good thing I'm not carrying a firearm then, ain't it?
Would you like some tea while we wait, Mr. Shelby?
What are we waiting for?
The other guests.
So, where are these other guests?
They will be here very soon. I've heard stories that you have welcomed Jesus into your life.
I have indeed.
Do you think your repentance will mean you are forgiven of your sins?
He's out of my hands.
I mean, for murdering my son. Because I have not yet found it in my heart to forgive you. I don't think I ever will. Off you go now.
Is she
Why
the,
did you
like,
invite me here today?
the sign to say come in? Yeah, they're not Italian. But it doesn't sound like it. I thought they're going to be wounded, mate, when they walk down there. They're getting absolutely popped. Yeah. Oh, they're reversing.
It's a fucking decoy! Bring the car out now!
Oh, decoy. Smart. What I was saying is, I was going to say, what's not smart is the Italian should have already been in the house. And as soon as she patted him down, that he wasn't armed, when he went in and sat down, she should have just walked out and killed him. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, it's so simple. They could have been in that flat, waiting, and when he come in, he was just a sitting duck. But no, they've gone through this big, massive process, which is fine. It's a decoy. I'd be interested to see how they obviously get from where they are now into to try and get him. Oh. Yeah, I was going to say, they could be females.
They're not here for you. It must be Michael.
Michael?
Arthur, you need to get to the hospital now.
Kneecapper.
If your faith is real, I've got all the kids.
Ah.
In 1 hour. I swear to God, I will cover you in tar and fucking feathers.
Whoa, here we go.
Last time my man was sent for you, you got lucky. Now,
He's not going to die because
the
he
luck's run out.
made a deal with Polly. Well, he didn't agree to it though, did he?
And tell your mother we have a deal.
What happened, eh? What happened? They heard you coming. The gunman's fired. They ran away. Johnny!
I feel like Michael might try and get to the bottom of Polly first before he says anything.
Wait,
Tommy's thinking.
get out. Rolls Royce, maybe 2. Black. Inflicted no casualties. I said we inflicted no fucking casualties.
Do you reckon he believes that they ran away?
Why don't you move it out of the way? So why don't you clear it so that we can get past?
What's that accent?
We're Americans.
We waited for you fucking Yanks until 1918. It'll be clear in 20 minutes, all right?
Come on, let's go move it ourselves, fucking idiots.
I said it'd be clear in 20 minutes.
We'll find another way out of here.
Yeah. Strategizing.
Come on, fucking move!
The new driver, is he dead? Oh. Abraham McGoll going for it.
He spared me.
That was interesting. Oh, here we go.
He said, tell your mum that we have a deal. What deal did you make with Luca Changretta?
A deal to spare your life.
You agreed to give up, Tommy. No, we don't do that to her.
Think. If it wasn't for me, you'd be smoke blowing out of a mortuary chimney. Think about that.
She's true there, but still the principle. It's the principle of it. No, what she said there is true. You know, if she didn't cut that deal, he'd be dead. That is true. Do you know what I mean? Let's not beat around the bush. She is telling the truth. But it's principle. It's the morals. You don't go against your own. You don't throw your family under the bus. You don't cut deals to save your own ass. She needs to die. And also, I'd go as far to say is, if Michael knows and conceals it, he needs to die as well. Like, not that I want him to die, but like, that's how I feel in all shows that I watch. Not just the Peaky Blinders. If you just watch my channel just for this, that's like, it might be new to you, but in any show that I watch, you go against your family, you turn somebody in, your retaliation, you get what's coming to you. You don't have it, you get killed.
We killed 2.
You also shot a copper.
Shot in the arm, with purpose. There's a copper on the floor, the Stratford Constabulary swarm all over it. The copper's alive. Got a description of the Italians. The Italians will be forced underground.
You let him get away. When our paths cross, I won't be so careless.
And when will your paths cross?
Soon.
I hope your insistence that I take a boat rather than a cab from the station wasn't purely for your own amusement.
No, for the avoidance of death or kidnap. Did you think of a name?
Dangerous.
It's not a bad name, to be fair.
A horse called Dangerous won the Epsom Derby in 1833. So I stole the name.
So is this why you came here? all this way in person for my fucking signature.
You've lost your wife, and now your brother too. I thought it would make you different. It doesn't seem to change you.
No.
Nothing seems to change you.
Stick to the plan.
What do you think of his shirt? He's having them made in London. Not sure about them. But you know, sometimes he sees something glamorous and expensive. He just can't resist it.
Speaking of the Grace Shelby Foundation, I'd like to make a donation. I leave it blank. You can decide how much, Mr. Shelby.
Yeah, that'll be all, Lizzie, thank you.
So Tommy's making a donation then. It's his money, it's his sum.
Did you pack an overnight bag?
No. Why?
Well, because 25 minutes ago, the Birmingham branch of the Train Drivers Union called a wildcat strike.
So where will I stay in your city?
I'll be free at 4. I can meet you then.
Book myself a room.
Already done. The Midland, sweet. I with myself sometimes.
Sometimes it's where you stay.
But not tonight, it would seem. Fuck is that about, Lizzie? Eh?
Have a guess.
You know what? I can't even guess anymore. I'll be back at 4.
Mrs. Gray, I wanted to illustrate to you that at any time we can reach your son. And we will kill your son if you cannot deliver Tommy Shelby.
What's Tommy's diary looking like for the rest of the week?
Oh, fuck Tommy and his cock and his chin. You haven't done my leaves in ages.
I haven't done anyone's leaves for ages. Swirl the teacup. Think about the man you love.
Fuck him.
Think about your white wedding gown.
How can anyone read that? It's just a load of BS, isn't it?
See if Tommy's got a free afternoon in the next 7 days.
Now, read my future and make it fucking good.
Make sure he keeps it free. And then go and see a doctor about that baby in your tea leaves.
Whoa. Now, I'm hoping, if she is pregnant, that is Tommy's. You know, she has had a reputation before to go around seeing other people. But again, it's one of these things, yeah. Make sure you leave that part of Tommy's diary free. I've got somewhere that he needs to be. And then he goes there and there's an ambush and he nearly gets killed. Like, I mean, if he gets killed, he gets killed. If he don't get killed, he's going to be like, mate, Polly set me up. Do you know what I mean? It's like a bad situation. Like, Polly needs to get him in a place, in a location, at a time where he thinks it's just a natural. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't know somebody's booked a meeting or somebody's organised an event. It just needs to be, I'm going to the garrison. And as he walks in, the Changrettas are there. Just by luck. Do you know what? Well, obviously, they would know he's coming in. But from him, it would just be a natural day thing that he's doing. It's like nobody's set him up, nobody to turn around, nobody to point the finger. Because she's just leaving herself open to, obviously, like, the obviously backlash. So, going to be really interesting.
You're not at the fucking fairground now, son. Get down and skip me 200 for taking the piss out of a fine fighter.
So what do you say, Mr. Maine?
He works hard, he's game. I need to work on his defence.
I put him down as a welterweight, Midlands division, amateur turning pro. Just need your counter signature. Fighter out of Camden Town. Boy's name is Goliath.
I hope he wins, actually.
Look a bit funny in these, I think. You're going to take a walk along the canal. You'll also need this.
Are you serious?
Italians north, Italians south. He makes gin to take his mind off being stuck inside a prison.
He's got a proper distinctive walk, hasn't he? He's either got proper big shoulders, you know, delts or what, like.
All the men get off the buses. The strikers threatened the men's families. They said come the revolution, their names would be on a list. Did you ever consider the possibility that the communists might win? And you and me, traitors to our class, will be put up against a wall and shot.
I'm not a traitor to my class. No, Ada. It's me. I need your help.
See, what's your opinion on that with Tommy there? Like, obviously, like, now he's proper rich and scary, you know, like, and he's in a different class than, obviously, all of these. But technically, he's an example of what a working class hard man who's been down in the dumps, not got much money, and fend for himself, thrived and worked his way up, whether it's legally or illegally, and made something of his life. Do you know what I mean? He's been that working class man. So, I don't know, man. I think that's an interesting look at it. I would probably lean on the side of what Tommy's just said there. Do you know what I mean? Like, just because he's got the money now, it doesn't mean that he's not one of them. He's actually shown that one of them can achieve something like him if they put the mind to it and obviously go through dangerous, as the episode's called, situations.
What do you think?
Nice. A little sweet. What is this, a hobby?
One of a place where I try things out. I decided if I'm going to be stuck here in Small Heath, I might as well do something useful. So a hobby Full of adventure. And in this modern age, American women drink as much booze as the men. And women, apparently, prefer gin. When we're up and running, we'll produce over 200 gallons a week.
That's mad, that, isn't it?
You're unlike any man I've ever met.
And the gin.
Too sweet.
Hey, he's expanding though, isn't he? He dabbles in everything, literally. Every woman, every business, everything.
You're a businessman, Tommy, a good one. Only you can.
If only I could what? If only you could change. Go and say it. If only you could change the bad, and the good is laying off 1,000 men, which I do. Like a good businessman.
Bite like your horse.
Isn't it? Proper last end, innit?
I'm Sweetser. Place for you to bring women back. Bring your mates. It's Artillery Square. Place is full of communists and strikers. Having a Shelby round here will keep them in order.
I wouldn't have been able to pull that trigger.
It's God who pulls that fucking trigger anyway. We don't get to decide who lives and who dies.
That is true. It's hard to shoot somebody. Well, I assume so. Like, you'd have the, you know, you to get in the nerve to do that, pulling that trigger would be so hard, like he's just saying. But I would be confident that if I knew that, say, Finn was about to walk in and shoot my mum, dad, or sister, for example, I know that I would be able to pull that trigger. Whether or not I'd be scared, it's either I'd rather him go down than the people I love go down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, now, maybe in the situation like when Changretta was tied up in the chair, and do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's crying for his life. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Do you know what I mean? You've got somebody literally pleading for their life, crying, and pulling up the nerve to get the gun out and just shoot them, like, literally right there. That's hard. I totally get it. But, like, in kind of like a self-defense protection, if he's, like, running in the room just about to kill your family, pulling that trigger, I reckon, would be easier. Because it's, like he's saying, it's a quick thing, you know? You don't think, you just do it. Now, where the other situation, you are thinking, should we pull it? What should we do? That's where it gets tough.
Italians north and south, he said.
Nah, it's mostly chances. Local kids.
I thought there was a strike.
Gave you that idea.
God.
I know. Bad, I can't help.
He's chatting.
I wanted you to stay.
This talk of national austerity, this talk of tightening our belts must be met with resolute certainty.
Jessie Eden?
Yes?
I'd like to buy you a drink. I'm afraid the pubs around here don't allow unaccompanied female drinkers.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
I've a settlement proposition that my brother's too arrogant and proud to offer you in person.
Sorry, ladies, we don't.
Don't what?
Have any drinks tonight?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
What are you drinking, ladies? That's what you're supposed to say.
Yes.
Can't believe they don't serve women.
More than
like...
one way to achieve equality. Not impressed with your power to terrify people. He wants to talk about socialism and revolution. Bookmakers hedge their bets. Sometimes long shots come in. And because we emptied his buses today, he thinks we are among the runners and riders. Tell your brother that. When we take power, all means of production will be owned by the workers. Aren't you a bit sorry you jumped ship too soon? He wants to take you for dinner.
I really have nothing to wear.
You'd need to wear boots. He's suggesting dinner in a scrap metal yard. Said you'd appreciate the sentiment. We must all make personal sacrifices. The good old cause.
Fucking hell, it smells of pig around here, doesn't it? Definitely not kosher.
Definitely not kosher.
Oh, small heath. Ishmael, please, will you hit the call of prayer?
So, this must be Goliath. Introduce you to David. This way, boys.
Yeah, is he gonna fight him?
Assume that David's out of bed. Yeah, Bobby, you got fucking starlings, mate. You know that? That shit will rot your pipe work.
It's all right, I'm getting a kestrel.
I hear that you got Italians, mate. You got a kestrel for them and all.
Yes. I'll have a kestrel for them as well. I know you don't touch it, but you have a good nose.
The Americans want it sweeter.
Want it sweeter?
They're still using Sabini for vehicles and for places to stay.
How many are here?
11. Well, the truth is, Tommy, you're going to be fucking dead soon, yeah? And then, yeah, starlings, all right? They will peck out your blue eyes, won't they?
And if the Italians win, they're not planning on leaving. And after me, it'll be him, and then you.
I mean, when a pikey walks in with hair like that, you've got to ask yourself, have I made a mistake? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck am I? I am the uncle, the protector, and the promoter Now that fucking thing right there in whose shadow nothing good nor godly will ever fucking grow. Any man that you put before him, right, it'd be like entering a fucking threshing machine, mate. Will you offer your son?
Name the day, Mr. Shelby.
So you finished for the weekend, Tommy? Yeah. Your mother wants me to go to the foundation. Prize giving. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Oh, they're doing it now. That is interesting. Oh, we've ended the episode there. No way, man. So, I was thinking then, you know what I mean? Like, Tommy read the situation at the start of the episode well, didn't he? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when it come in and he was sat there, he was talking, I was like, mate, he's got to read that woman's trying to set Arthur up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and he did read it, you know, he wasn't stupid. He managed to figure it out. He set up a plan. Obviously, it was a diversion from the Italians, and you know, it didn't really go to plan as he suspected because he went after Michael. But what I'm saying is, he read the situation that woman was trying to set him up. He done it well. And now here, speaking with Michael at the end, right? I wonder if he's smart enough, which I would say he is, to be honest. The guy's a businessman. The guy, you know, has got so much hands. He's got his hand in so many pies, hasn't he, really? You know what I mean? Like, he's always got his looking over his shoulder, trying to think of the next step. Who's coming? What could it be? And, like, now, coming here, speaking to him, you know, the conversation that Michael said to him, oh, yeah, they heard that you was coming and they ran off. Would you believe that? Would you believe the Changrettas ran off? I wouldn't. Especially when he walked right in and mowed Michael and mowed John down. And then he went straight in and went face to face with Tommy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that they'd run off and they'd leave like, just miss Michael or whatever? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was Tommy, I wouldn't have believed that. So then, that's the first bit of info. But then as we're moving through there, you know, like, yeah, I'm going to a meeting. What, are you going on your own? Yeah, I am. Do you know what I mean? He's like, interesting. He's like, when is it? Friday? Tommy, have a good weekend. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking that Tommy's thinking, what's the context, but like, how random is it? And like, straight after you just said that you're going to a meeting on your own on a Friday, and then you tell me to have a good weekend after it. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be more to it. But I did say earlier on in the episode when Polly was trying to, like, I don't know, set up that meeting on the Friday, make sure that he's free. But the best way to take him out would be in a standard situation where, like, you don't go to an event that Polly's booked just for you and then you get attacked. And if you survive, you know Polly set you up. You need to do it, like, in a garrison when, like, you just think you're going there for a drink and they're already waiting. Or you're going in your car and you're driving and they ambush you. That is how you do it, because then it takes suspicion away from somebody that actually setting you up and, you know, organising the event. You just think that's an attack that they've done themselves and strategised. So it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, what happens, because you can see that Polly knew that it was about to happen and they followed him. They're all in the back of the van with guns, so it's going to be really interesting. Okay, so that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, guys, enjoyed it. Interesting that Finn, you know, he said that he couldn't pull the trigger, didn't he, against the Italians. Obviously, I countered that by saying, kind of like with, you know, Arthur as well, he's saying, like, you know, it's God that decided who gets shot. You know, if you didn't think that they were supposed to, then it's his will. But he's saying, like, when you come to do it, you don't think, you just do. And I probably agree. I was saying, do you know what I mean? Like, when Arthur had the Changretta sat in the chair and he shot him because Tommy was struggling, you know, that is where it takes courage, it takes strength, and obviously it's ruthless. Now, killing somebody trying to protect yourself and your family when you know that they're coming in to attack you. Like, for example, if they managed to get in the room and Luca was having the gun against Michael, and before he pulled the trigger, you just have to whip yours out and shoot him. That's a different situation, isn't it? You could pull the trigger there. I think that most people could, because you're trying to protect a loved one. So then, I do think that maybe Finn is going to be, I said earlier as well, that, you know, now John's gone, he'll get promoted. They'll be using him more. And, you know, I'd like to see his progression, really. You know, gone from small all the way working up into the business. Michael's done that. Well, he hasn't gone from small. Michael's just come in and worked his way up, and he's like a big part. Now, I've been saying, like, if Michael and Polly actually go ahead with this and set it up, and obviously an assassination on Tommy is undertaken, then they need to get took out, shot, whatever. They need to feel the wrath of the Peaky Blinders and the Shelbys, because, you know what I'm saying, you don't go against your family, you don't set them up, and you don't try and protect yourself, throwing everybody else under the bus. Now, I'm going to be, you know, bit of leniency on Michael, for example. Let's see how it actually goes if he did give Tommy like a cold word or something that he knows. Do you know what I mean? Like, you would think actually in big organisations, crime and stuff like that, that you might do have like a word. So you might have like, I don't know, bananas. And like, if you said that in a situation, people would know, right, shit, something's going down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because people wouldn't know. It's like the film 21. You've probably never seen it, but like, they count cards, and what they do is they put the hand behind the back and they hold the wrist like that. So like, when the table's hot and when they're getting close, they'll put it behind. Everybody will come and sit at the table. They'll all start betting. It's like a code word or a sign that nobody else would know. But within obviously the organisation, that's it, it's triggered. And I'm thinking that that's what might have happened with Tommy there. So it's going to be exciting to see, obviously, what happens in the next episode, because obviously they're going to go and try and take him out. Abraham and Gold tried to take them out earlier on in the episode on the bridge, didn't they? You know, something got in the way, a carriage, they was sitting ducks. He killed 2. He didn't actually kill, obviously, Luca. And he managed to get away and drive off. But he shot a police officer. And he was saying that now they're going to kind of like run the Italians kind of like out the city, so to speak. And they can't run us out because we've been hiding anyway. Now, obviously, he's trying to progress the deal further in the boxing industry. Obviously, with Abraham's son. With all the person that it looks like he might be fighting is Alfie's nephew, which is interesting. He's absolutely massive compared to it. I don't know, like in real life, if that actually happened, I don't know, I'd feel sorry for the smaller man who actually beat the bigger man. Not that like he won, like, but I think in real life people would call that a fix, a dive. You know, he's took money, he's gone down, he's let him win. If he actually earns it, then fair play. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely fair play. But again, May's come, you know, got him to sign new documents for his new horse called Dangerous. Hopefully that can win some events for him. And, you know, we're progressing through the storyline really well. So, yeah, I can't wait to watch the next episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's. Season's going really strong. We've got 2 episodes left. And hopefully we'll go out with a bang, mate. Hopefully the Italians come and attack. Tommy and obviously the Shelbys retaliate. And we just get an all-out war for the final 2. So that's where we currently are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's. If you did, please smash like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.